cannot sit here in Chapel Hill and not ask you about a play that every Carolina fan has committed to memory. So I want you to watch this and just kind of talk us through it. I'm pretty sure you know this play.
One of the greatest college dunks of all time. Jerry Stackhouse on D-O-O-K. I like that. Outlet, offensive rebound. Coach would say run the floor, got on the wing. And a couple of people just happened to be in the way. Happened to be some pretty big guys too, but that was just one of those plays, man. I had no idea that that's what I was going to do until I was in the air, and it just kind of developed. And it wound up being one of the plays that, you know, fortunately, I tell everybody it's good because I get to see myself with hair. One time a year, you know, whenever Duke and North Carolina play, I get to see a little bit of fuzz on the top of it, or my dome. So, but it's definitely a special moment. No matter where I go, you know, people always talk about that dunk, and along with the one against Virginia Tech. I think that's one that stands out in a lot of people's mind as well. But nothing because of the magnitude of this game, Duke, Carolina, and double overtime and all that. And I tell people all the time that people think that we lost this game, but we won.
Well, and like you just said, a lot of other things happened in that game after that play. Mm-hmm. So how long after you got to the locker room and riding home on the bus did somebody go, yo, that was awesome, that dunk on 2 7-footers?
Yeah, I mean, I think it really didn't really register until, you know, probably when we were back in the dorm or something, you know, watching, you know, maybe Sports Center or something like that, that it really registered that it was that type, because it was, the game had so many ebbs and flows. That was just one high for us, but we had some other highs, we had some other lows. I mean, I still, you know, the famous picture when Jeff Capel hit this almost, you know, half-court shot, and I'm standing up there looking dejected, like what in the world just happened? I know we were supposed to just win this game, and now we got to play some more. Rasheed just fouled out. So the ebbs and flows of that game took over the fact that that dunk was even part of it until, you know, later on that night or maybe even the next day.
How about the strut? Where'd that come from?
I don't know where that come from. You know, so that was just one of those moments. It's one of those moments when you just, the energy of the building, the energy of that moment, the excitement, and it probably was a little bit out of character for me. I mean, I think I've normally had more of a stoic, just, you know, Coach Smith would always say, you know, act like you've been there before. You know what I'm saying? That was one of his things, you know, show them and act like you've been there before. And I think that's so for me to let out a little bit of emotion at that time was rare, but I think it was, looking back at it and the excitement that it brought so many other people, that it might have been warranted.
When Coach Smith saw the film, what did he say?
Nothing. You know, I mean, I never got anything about it. You know, like I said, it was just, everybody was excited. I think, you know, I mean, probably deep down inside, Coach might even been a little excited about that play and seeing it. And like I said, I didn't really feel that it was that much of a play until I just know I dunked the ball and they blew the whistle and it was an and one. So, you know.
Coach Smith's been in the news a lot lately, got a big honor at the White House. When you think back on the impact Coach Smith has had on you, just off the basketball court, since you left Chapel Hill, what comes to your mind first?
Well, just the fact of, you know, how he taught me how to play the game, you know, aside from just my athleticism, but understanding how to, you know, play with other great players. And I think that's a lot of the struggle that I see now, because I'm, you know, coaching younger kids and learning how to share the floor. And I think that was the biggest thing about what Coach, you know, his message was sharing and, you know, being able to congratulating your teammates and being a good teammate. So I think that's the thing that, you know, sticks out to me. I was talking to somebody yesterday. I mean, when I was here at Carolina, that was the only thing that I wanted to do was just impress him. You know, I felt like if I pleased him and did what he asked me to do, that, you know, everything else would kind of fall in place.
How could you tell if you did impress him?
It was subtle. I mean, it was just, you know, maybe a little nod. You know, he didn't give me too much verbal praises. You know, but I think I could tell from his approval, just from, you know, just his mannerisms. And I think, you know, when you've been around Coach long enough, you know his mannerisms, and you know you can tell where or they're good ones or bad ones, and I tried to stay on that, either the flat, as he used to call it, because I used to have turnovers to take away some of my good plays. So he was always say Stackhouse was flat, but when I knew that I was plus, and I know I've been doing some things pretty good.
How could you tell if you were not making him happy?
You come out the game, you know, that was the key for that one. I felt like if I was somebody, you make a mistake on the floor, I got a little fancy. I remember one time on the break, my freshman year, coming down on the break, I was going to put a little high sauce. I tried to reverse jam, and I think I actually jumped a little too high and threw it off the back of the rim. So, like, before the ball really came down good, somebody else was already to the table to get me. So, I mean, you know when you make a mistake, but the good thing about it, I mean, a couple plays later, I was back in there with an opportunity. So it was just, you know, as young players, teaching that discipline, teaching that, you know, kind of the hierarchy of our system and how it works, and I do the same thing now. The same messages that I taught then, the same messages that I try to convey and preach to the players that I coach and the players that I work with from just like individual, workout standpoint.
What got you interested in coaching?
Funny thing, man, it was my son. I had a 7th grader, and I was watching him play. And I mean, he was on an AAU team and watching him, and the guy was just rolling the balls out there to him and not really teaching him anything. And I got fed up with it, and so I was like, I'm a coacher myself. So I decided with him and some of his other same teammates on that team, we added a few other guys, and he's going into his 8th grade year, and he's a senior now. I started coaching, and I just fell in love with it. I mean, along with my role as I was transitioning toward the end of my career in the NBA, that was more of a mentor role, more of an assistant coach those last few years that I played.
What things have you found yourself saying or doing that maybe you say or do and then you think, oh, that sounds like Coach Smith a little bit?
Oh man, take a charge. That's my thing. And as far as keeping the ball out of the middle, I mean the same principles that I feel like my system of basketball and helps me and my team win is that, those same principles that were taught to us, with him, making sure that we're not allowing, penetrators to get in the middle and have a lot of options. We send them to the baseline, we bring our low help over, we sink and feel for the guy to help the helper type of thing. And I think at this level, it goes a long ways. I mean, kids start to see it, they start to feel the rhythm and the pattern of what's going on. And offensively, just move it and share it and have a system of where guys are going to be when you get caught up. Because no matter how good you are, somebody, just like we're a good defensive team, we get over there and have help. Other good teams are going to have help. Now what do? We got to make sure that we have people moving on the weak side to make sure that they can give you a bailout opportunity to not create a turnover or a bad play. And you do that, I feel like you can win with any type of plays, any type of system. But if you do those things consistently when things break down, that you're going to be pretty good.
As the group that came in with your son kind of ages out, what's the next step for Coach Stackhouse?
I'm still looking at the opportunity. I want to coach at the levels that I played at, and that's either at the college level or at the pro level. I think I'm probably a little better suited for the pro game because I'm just out of that. But the success that I've had in the development side of it with these young guys, and being able to sell my message of how to get to ultimately where they all want to get to that next level, and being able to have played 18 years like I did, I think I could get their attention on. If you listen and follow the blueprint that I can put out for you, that you might have a good chance of having that same type of success.